This is Sinclair and Rush's fire safety training video. In this video, we'll be going through the company's evacuation procedure, talking a little bit about fire equipment, telling you about our designated fire marshals, and an insight into the company's fire risk assessment. So first off, let's talk about the company's evacuation procedure. There's nothing really complicated here. Quite simply, upon hearing the fire alarm, you must leave the building and head for the fire assembly point. The assembly point will be shown to you on your induction tour. At the Maidstone site, it's at the back of Unit 13 in the yard, and at the Rochester site, it's the front car park at number 19. When the fire alarm goes, leave the building immediately. Do not stop for personal belongings. The senior fire marshal on site will then carry out a roll call at the fire assembly point. You must not re-enter the building until you have been told that it's safe to do so by either the senior fire marshal or the fire services if they have arrived on site. In an evacuation, it's important that you leave via the nearest escape door to you. So this is not necessarily the shortest route to the fire assembly point, but once you're outside, you can then walk around safely. The key is to exit the building the quickest way possible. If you're the first person to discover the fire, there are 3 things that you have to do. Firstly, you'll need to activate a call point as you leave the building. You'll need to call 999 and ask for the fire services. And then once you're at the fire assembly point, you'll need to update the most senior person on everything that you know to have happened. The fire services will need the company address. If you're working out of Maidstone, this is 11 to 13 Spectrum West, St Lawrence Avenue, ME16 0LL, and the Rochester site is 19 or 23 Laker Road, ME1 3QX. When you're on the phone to 999, do not hang up on the operator until they have everything that they have asked for. Now we're going to skim over some of the things you need to know about fire equipment and signage. You'll see fire action notices all over the building, and these are just posters that tell you what to do in the event of an evacuation. We have fire escape doors. You'll find these on the outskirts of the building and will take you out to the fire assembly point. At these doors you will also see fire extinguishers. These should only be used by trained and competent people. Then finally at these doors there are the call points. These are positioned at every fire escape and pressing them will set off the fire alarm. Our fire detection equipment includes smoke detectors. These are on the ceiling and will set off the fire alarm when activated. The fire assembly point is always outside and is strategically positioned as a safe place to carry out the roll call. Inside there is emergency lighting. These will be illuminated when the fire alarm goes off to give you safe passage outside. Then there's the fire bell itself. There's a lot of these scattered around the building, so no matter where you are, you'll be able to hear the alarm. And then finally, we also have internal fire doors. These must remain closed when not in use to prevent a fire from spreading from room to room. The company chooses some members of staff to serve as fire marshals. These colleagues are responsible for ensuring that their designated area is evacuated properly in an emergency. Some of their other duties include making sure that walkways and emergency exits are always clear. They have to retrieve the visitor's book in an evacuation, and they will also help perform the roll call at the fire assembly point. Finally, we come to the fire risk assessments for Sinclair and Rush. Every year we will do an assessment on each unit to establish what control measures we have in place, but more importantly, highlight any additional actions that need to be implemented. You have a right to access this information. All you have to do is ask the health and safety team. You also have a duty to report anything you suspect to be a fire hazard. Let your manager know if you have any concerns so that action can be taken if it's necessary. We want everyone to keep an eye out in the area that they work in. If you identify a risk, report it. Here are some examples of what you should look out for. Have fire doors being left open? Are fire exits or routes being blocked? Are extinguishers being damaged or are they missing? Have flammable substances been left out? Thank you for watching the fire safety training video with Sinclair and Rush. If you want to refer back to any of the information on this video, you can just search it on YouTube. If you want any further information, all you have to do is email or call the health and safety team with the information on the screen.